The Pact. From the very first day of freshman year, Emily Carter and Madison Blake knew they were going to be inseparable. It wasn't the kind of friendship that just happened over shared classes or mutual friends. It was the rare, almost fated kind. By the second week, they had already made a pact. One night in their dorm room, Emily whispered across the lamplight glow, her green eyes sparkling. "One day, I'm going to be your maid of honor, and you're going to be mine. We'll be the best brides for each other's best days." Madison laughed, squeezing her hand. "Deal. Forever. And we'll keep each other's secrets no matter what." Back then, it felt like nothing in the world could shake that promise. Their college sat in a conservative Midwestern town where parents still called twice a day, and the idea of having a boyfriend was frowned upon until you were ready for marriage. That was why meeting Ryan Matthews and Caleb Turner was so dangerous and so irresistible. Ryan had sharp smiles and easy confidence, with a laugh that made Emily feel seen in a way she hadn't before. Caleb was quieter, more thoughtful, the kind of guy who looked at Madison like she was the only person in the room. At first, it was just group projects, lunches in the quad, study sessions in the library. But soon the four of them were meeting off campus, far from watchful eyes. They'd pile into Ryan's beat-up Jeep or walk under the cover of darkness to the lake. Emily and Madison told each other everything. The texts they got, the almost touches that left their hearts pounding. Madison teased Emily about Ryan's habit of tucking her hair behind her ear. Emily teased Madison about the way Caleb smiled slowly when she spoke. It wasn't just romance. It was rebellion wrapped in silk and moonlight. They were defying expectations together, holding on to this shared secret like it was something sacred. One hot summer night, it happened. The four of them had gone to the lake as usual, laughter echoing off the water. Ryan led Emily down the dock while Caleb and Madison wandered into the woods. The group of four split into two pairs. Emily remembered the warm air, the tremor in Ryan's hand when he touched hers. His kiss was soft, then urgent, pulling back with a grin that said he'd been waiting for it. Later, Madison described Caleb's kiss as slow and deep, like a question he already knew the answer to. Back in their dorm that night, they lay in the dark whispering every detail, giggling like little girls, hearts pounding with something far from innocent. Once you've kissed someone, the world tilts in a way that makes you want more. For Emily, it was in Ryan's Jeep at the edge of a cornfield, summer air pouring through the open windows. For Madison, it was in Caleb's apartment, blinds drawn, the room smelling faintly of coffee and aftershave. It wasn't rushed, but it was risky. The thrill of doing something forbidden made it intoxicating. They didn't speak about the act itself in detail afterward, that they didn't need to. The looks they exchanged told the whole story. They had crossed into new territory, and they were still in it together. It was Madison who knew first. She didn't tell Emily right away. The missed period, the quiet panic, the way she stood in the drugstore aisle staring at pregnancy tests, like they were written in another language. When the result appeared, she sat on her bed for hours, the word pregnant staring back at her. When she finally told Emily, it was almost midnight. Emily sat pale and still. "Maddie, oh my God, what are you going to do?" "I don't know." Madison's voice cracked. "I just know I can't tell my parents. I can't." The pact wasn't cute anymore. Keeping Madison's secret meant carrying the weight of a life-changing truth. The weeks that followed were a blur of quiet fear. Madison walked through campus like she was holding her breath. Emily tried to act normal when Ryan was around, but she could see the strain in Madison's eyes. They still met the guys, but Madison often left early, and Emily covered for her. Caleb still didn't know. Emily's love with Ryan deepened, but the carefree glow was gone. lying next to him in the back of his Jeep. She'd picture Madison alone in her dorm, wondering what came next. Ryan noticed. "You've been different lately," he said one night. "Just a lot on my mind," she smiled softly. "Whatever it is, I'm here," he said. But she couldn't tell him. The secret wasn't hers to share. The breaking point came on a rainy Friday night. Madison arrived at Emily's door, soaked and trembling. "I told him," she whispered. Emily pulled her inside. "And?" At first he just stared at me. Then he said, it wasn't his problem. That he didn't even know if it was his. Her voice broke. "Emily, I've never felt so small in my life." Emily's chest ached with the urge to defend her, to scream at Caleb. But Madison gripped her hand. "Don't. I can't take more drama right now." The four of them were gone now. Ryan didn't understand why Emily wouldn't come to the lake anymore. One night, he cornered her outside her dorm. "Why do I feel like I'm losing you?" She couldn't answer. She kissed him instead, desperate to make the guilt go away. Winter crept in, and with it came Madison's decision. Sitting across from Emily in a coffee shop, she whispered, "I can't raise a baby right now. I'm scared, Em." Emily squeezed her hand. "Whatever you choose, I'll be there. I swear it." Before winter break, Emily convinced Madison to go to the lake one last time. Snow dusted the dock, the water frozen over. "Do you ever wish we could go back?" Madison asked. "Every day," Emily whispered. They stood in silence, the frozen lake between them, and the summers they'd never get back. When classes resumed, Madison was gone. She'd taken a leave of absence, moved to her aunt's out of state. They kept in touch by late-night calls, but the distance was an ocean. Ryan held Emily tighter, but he didn't understand the ache she carried. Sometimes she thought she saw Caleb in a crowd, but it was never him. The Pact lived on, heavier now, bound in love, loss, and secrets that change you forever. 4 years passed before Emily saw Madison again. Life had moved forward in crooked lines. Ryan had graduated and moved away. Their relationship had unraveled into occasional friendly texts. Emily finished her degree, found a job at a publishing house, tried not to think about the nights at the lake. Madison had erased herself from most people's lives, deleting social media, never coming back to campus. Emily knew bits and pieces. An online degree, a coffee shop job, a move to Chicago, but she never asked about the pregnancy. That was the point. The Pact meant not asking. Then, on a grey Tuesday in March, her phone lit up. "Maddie, I'm in town for a few days. Want to meet?" Her heart skipped. Emily, "Yes." "When?" They met at the same cafe they'd once studied in. Emily spotted her instantly, even in the crowd. Madison's hair was shorter, her face thinner, but her eyes were the same. They hugged for a long time before sitting down. "You look good," Madison said softly. "You too," Emily replied. They talked about work, cities, old friends. The real conversation waited until Madison said quietly, "I kept it." Emily froze. "You?" "A little girl. Her name's Lily. She's 3 now. I thought you should know." Tears filled Emily's eyes. "Why didn't you tell me?" "Because I knew if I heard your voice, I'd come running back. And I wasn't ready for you to see me. Scared. Broke. Alone. I had to get strong first." Emily took her hand. "You were never alone." They walked through campus afterward, past dorms where their friendship began. Madison pointed out the steps where Caleb once waited for her. Emily glanced at the lot where Ryan's Jeep had always been. Time had softened those memories, but not erased them. At the lake, the ice had melted, rippling in the spring wind. Madison stood at the edge. "We kept our promise," she said. "Always," Emily replied. They parted at the corner where their paths split. Don't disappear for another 4 years, Emily said. I won't, Madison promised. And if you ever get married, I'm still going to be your maid of honor. Deal. They hugged again. As Madison walked away, Emily knew the truth she'd carried for years. Some people aren't just friends. They're part of you, woven so deep that no amount of time, distance, or heartbreak can cut them out. Years later, Emily would remember that season of her life. The first kisses under the stars, the stolen touches, the reckless courage of being young and in love. But more than any boy, she'd remember Madison. Because love stories fade. But the Pact had survived everything.